One of the reasons that mothers are so uniquely qualified to teach their own children is that they love them. We love our children. I love each one of my children individually, and I care more about them than almost anyone else. My husband may be accepting, and anyone on this earth. And therefore, I have special insight as a mother. I love them in a way that other people don't. And I've also been given a special calling from God to be their mother. And that gives me the opportunity and the right to receive revelation on their behalf. And so if any mom says she can't do it, she doesn't know enough to do it, or any number of things that I've heard, I say those things may be the reality at the moment, but if you look beyond that, you are uniquely qualified to teach your children. I wanted to share my first experience as I considered homeschooling for the first time. My daughter was going to be turning 5 in September, and the cutoff for school, you have to turn 5 by a certain date, and that date was September 1st, and her birthday is later in September. And so but she was brilliant, of course. And all parents, I hope, think that their children are pretty special. Well, I was no exception to that. I had been doing some things with her at home, and she was doing really well and learning quickly and happily. And so I thought, I can't make her wait till she's turning 6 to be able to go to public school, to go to kindergarten. She's already reading a little bit. She's going to be reading really well by then, and she'll be bored, and it'll just not be the best thing for her. So I called the school district, and I said, this is the situation, and what do you recommend? And they said, well, you can petition to have her tested, but we don't have to grant that petition. And then she can be tested, but even if she scores perfectly on the test or does really well on it, I don't know what the scoring looked like, we still don't have to grant her, we don't have to accept her into the kindergarten for that year. So you can petition to have her tested. We don't have to grant that. You can have her tested and she can do really well, but we still don't have to grant it. So basically it was up to them. And I was a little taken aback by that, because I thought, clearly you don't have the best interest of my child in mind when you're giving me that answer, and when you approach each child's learning like that, which is understandable because they deal with thousands of children and they can't interview and test each one to determine exactly where they go. But I didn't want that cookie cutter approach for my child. I wanted her to have more than that. And so I said, well, I will homeschool her this year for kindergarten, and I'll call it kindergarten. And then in the future, when she comes back, she will take that test and she'll blow you away, and you'll have to let her in for first grade because there just won't be any other option. So that was my approach from the beginning. And I didn't think they were very nice. They were a little bit rude on the phone, I thought. And clearly they didn't have the best interests of my child in mind. And so we started homeschooling that first year, and which, she was only 4 and she was just turning 5. And I had already done some preschool at home, so it was just a little bit more of the same. And it went really well, and I read and studied because I really wanted to do a good job. And the more I read and studied, the more I realized that this was exactly what we were supposed to be doing. It felt so right, and I read so many things that confirmed that over and over again, and I felt the Spirit so strong as I was studying, and I was having such a good time with her. And it wasn't perfect. Everything didn't go perfect from the beginning, but it was a really good start, and I was having the results. And when I say results, I mean we were connecting, we were having wonderful experiences together that were building our relationship, and she was learning. And I thought, with that individualized approach, there's no way she can't succeed in her life. So that's how I started homeschooling, and then we just never looked back. It was what we were supposed to be doing, and I gained a greater conviction of that as the years progressed. So I share that to tell you that there is no one who loves your child more than you do, and no one who is more uniquely called and more uniquely prepared to teach your child. So your gift sets, everyone has a different set of gifts, and yours is unique and perfect. It's perfect for the children that God sent to you. We sometimes have a harder time with one child or another because of our personality and their gift sets and our gift sets, and how they work together sometimes isn't the easiest. But Heavenly Father sent them to us for a reason, and I don't believe that that was a mistake. Sometimes we need to reach outside and look for other resources that to supplement what we can do. But instead of looking at something and saying, my child won't learn from me, or I just don't have the patience to be with my child all the time, instead of looking at that as an insurmountable problem that you just send them to school because of, think of it as something that you need to work through, something that you can get over or around eventually, and that you'll work through it, and your relationship will be stronger because of it, and your child will be stronger and blessed because of it. So homeschooling is a challenge. There's no doubt about that. You don't wake up every day knowing that it's going to go really well, or that you're going to have a wonderful, fantastic day. Sometimes you just wake up on the wrong side of the bed, like anyone does. Or you just don't have any energy, or you are exhausted, or you're sick, or you're pregnant and sick, or any number of things. You know, you could have other stresses that someone's not doing well in your family, financially or physically, or so many stresses that we could be dealing with. But again, Heavenly Father knows the family that He sent these children to, and you are the perfect one. But we do need some things, and so that's what this series is about, to help you really come to the conclusion that you are enough, and to give you some encouragement and tools, hopefully, to move forward and have the courage to do it.